sell well and how to source. First, let me do this intro. What is going on, YT? We are just getting started with an Amazon FBA Q&A. We got the TikTok live here as always. What products to sell? There's lots of good products to sell, my friend. Nobody's necessarily just going to be like, oh, this is the product that you should go sell, bro, especially for the business model that I do. How do you source? I get my products sourced from overseas. A great platform to start with is Alibaba. And the reason why I say to start with is as you start to scale, I do think that it's okay to start exploring like a sourcing agent, because a sourcing agent will potentially get you lower pricing. But at the start, you can just use Alibaba. It's a very solid platform. We still use Alibaba sometimes. Biggest manufacturing site or platform and marketplace in the world. And remember, Alibaba is not the manufacturer. Alibaba is in a way like Amazon, where you're contacting manufacturers who list their products on Alibaba. Just like on Amazon, you're not necessarily, majority of the time, you're not buying from Amazon. You're buying from sellers like me who list their products on Amazon. Also, while we wait for some more questions, make sure you drop them down below. But I posted some gem videos on the page today. We're getting those Labor Day views, son. But last video that I posted is taking a brand new Amazon seller account from 0 to 1 mil. I give you guys an update on that series. Second to last video, not including pinned videos, talking about Labor Day, pointless holiday. Like literally, I don't know who invented it. I think Labor Day. No, I'm not going to get. This is just my conspiracy brain. I'm not trying to be that serious with this. A little bit satire, cynical, but it almost feels like a psyop. Like somebody created a day for people to not work. Sounds like a scam to me. Should I start with Amazon FBA or Shopify? FBA is the way to go, number one. Number two, launch an Amazon brand, but list your products on Shopify. I mean, go look at the top brands that you've seen on Amazon. They probably sell their products on Shopify. A big misconception is people thinking that it's either or. Should I do Amazon, or should I do TikTok Shop, or should I sell my products, create a website on Shopify and sell them there? Why not do all of them? Because the biggest brands in the world are on all of them. A great example to this is a brand called Goalie. If any of you have scrolled through TikTok for more than an hour, I'm almost certain that you've seen Goalie products. Goalie is on Amazon. They do over $10 million a month on Amazon. They also are on TikTok Shop. They're, I think, in the top 2 or top 3 biggest TikTok Shop brands. And then they also have their own website. They are omnipresent. It's the reason why, and I'm assuming that you're in the US and have TikTok Shop available, it's the reason why every single one of us knows the brand Goalie. You know what they sell. You know the brand. Facts, 100%. JB, thank you so much for the follow, bro. Appreciate you. And if you're not following the page, make sure that y'all are, because I be posting some gym videos every day, going live 6 days a week. It used to be 7. Fun fact for any OGs, I don't even know if I know Lost is an OG, but I don't even know if Lost was around back then. I used to go live every day, 7 days a week. And I had a streak of going live on TikTok for like 380 something days. I got a little burnt out, so I take a 1 day break every week now. Also, sorry if you guys can't read the questions. I always forget when I wear white jerseys or white clothes that you can't read the questions, but yeah, don't worry, I read them. Found product and supplement, listed it as FBA to test, and I ranked page 1 since day 1. That's a good sign, right? Yeah, especially if you're getting organic sales, bro. I think that's great, Canada. Is that in the US market, bro? And how many average reviews? Because I think that's really, really good. So good on you. Ches, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you and everybody in the live vibe and asking questions. Also, just a little side note. Usually post a new YT video every single week on Monday. Today it was delayed, but I will still be posting a video tomorrow, God willing. 8 or 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. As private label, do I need approval to sell dog food? Yes. What's required to do Amazon FBA? I've heard about it but just reselling right now. Yeah, I don't do reselling, Braden. I create my own brands on Amazon. It's my preferred business model there. I think that it trumps all the other business models. Not to say that those ones can't do well, because people obviously do well with them. What's required? Having a business entity or starting as a sole proprietor, that works as well. Having capital to start, and then having some basic tools. Like you need a basic, not basic, but you need a product research software, and then just a basic understanding of the steps that are involved to get started, like creating your seller account, getting a product research software, finding a product to sell, how to source the products. I think that it's a little overwhelming to some beginners, but what the beginners don't always think of is that you don't have to know every step at the start. Like when I first started selling on Amazon, a great example. Y'all see like all the Legos behind me, right? Like this one right here. I made the mistake of building it myself. I say the mistake because I should have paid somebody to build it, because that was like 8 hours of building. But anyways, that's like a 1,500 piece set, right? If I looked at every single piece at once and was like, I don't know how I'm going to turn all of these pieces into this, it would be overwhelming. That's a lot of pieces. But what did I do? I opened up the directions. I opened up to page 1, and you put a couple pieces together, and then you go to page 2, and that's the same thing as starting a business. I actually think it's a great analogy. Legos compared to starting a business. You take it step by step, and then all of a sudden, because I think it was 300 pages of instructions. And so by the time you're at page 100, you start to see it forming. And then you keep going. And by the time you get to the last step, you turn around and you're like, oh my gosh, I have a fully assembled Lego piece right there. That is how business is. It's going to, on your first 10 pages, you're not going to have anything formed. You're not going to have a full business, a full operating business. You know what I mean? Like creating your seller account. Like, yes, you have a seller account, but that's not a business. You haven't sold anything. You haven't put in any of the steps. But as you keep going and keep going, day by day, by day, by day, by day, you look behind you and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm an Amazon seller now. Do Canadian Impossible in the US actually just listed FBM to check the ranking, not to sell? Okay, nice. Search volume is around 50K and average reviews is around 100 to 50, and bid for main keyword 70 cents. That's great. Those are great numbers, bro. Is it hard to make your first sale? I think that's subjective. I don't think that it's hard, but some people might struggle with it. Your first sale is actually, I would actually argue, is really easy. But becoming profitable and creating a business that gets multiple sales, because if you get one sale, you really don't have a business. But as you start to get consistent orders, that is where the magic happens. Jay, thank you for sharing the live. What products are you currently doing? I sell all types of products, Braden. I have home decor products, home and kitchen products, health and household products. I have office products, toy products, baby products. Those are some of my top categories that I sell in. Can I start with 3K? Yes, you can, Updream. And also, I just posted a video. When was it? I post a lot of videos every day, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's the 9th to last video I posted on my profile. Exactly labeled that, how to start selling on Amazon with 3K. Bro, you Canada or US? USA. USA. Born and raised in Cali. I live in the US. Hi there. Amazon put my product category different. How can I change it? You have to there's two ways to go about it. You either create a case and tell Amazon to change it, or you have to do it through a flat file. I would look up how to upload a listing with a flat file just so that you get the steps right. But you would delete the product, wait 24 hours, re-upload the flat file with the correct information, and then that's considered like a hard reset to Amazon. Con, thank you so much for the follow. What's the biggest tip if you could get me to my first sale? Start. You cannot get your first sale unless you have an operating business. Find a product, get the product manufacturer, differentiate the product, create your Amazon account, create your product listing, and launch the product on Amazon. It is impossible to get your first sale on Amazon if you do not have a product live on Amazon. I know that sounds silly, but like that's a lot of people's biggest holdup. And that kind of leads me to the next comment that I see right here. Too scared. I understand this, right? I understand the fear of starting something. I understand the fear of getting out of your comfort zone. I understand the fear of maybe you have obligations, a family, you're taking care of your parents, or you have kids, or something like that. And it's like, I don't want to lose. But there's two options. And I don't want to sound harsh when I say this, but there really is two options. You either do or you do not. The market doesn't care about my feelings. The market doesn't care if I'm scared to launch a product. The market doesn't care about any of those things. All the market cares about is, what am I doing? So if I launch a good product, I differentiate that product properly, I have a good product launch strategy, then the market will reward me. But if I never start, the market won't reward me. Jared, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you. Familiar with 8541 error, not able to edit the title, conflict error message. Yes, I am. And that's where like a hard reset that I mentioned, deleting the listing and then re-uploading it after 24 hours could help. Quick question. Are you charging for a course? I do, bro. It's not a course, it's a mentorship. And you guys would see that if you checked out like my pinned video on my profile, as well as the mentorship site. But I also have a lot of free content. I do these lives. Like if you notice, I only really talk about the mentorship if somebody asks me about it on the live. But I go line by line answering everybody's question and stuff like that. That's for people who want me as their mentor along their entire Amazon journey and all the things that I've built. But like I never started making content to sell a program. I was making content for 2 years before the program was ever created or even an idea. So my North Star in doing all of this is just to truly help people. Now, I also do treat the mentorship like a business. But yeah, it's not like, oh, you guys, I'm not going to give you any information unless you're in my program. Like, go watch my content. And I post 4 videos every single day on TikTok. I post a long form YT video every week. I post 4 YT shorts every day, 4 to 5. I post 4 to 5 IG reels every day. Like I'm pumping out a lot of valuable content for everybody. How can the sale be shipped to the customer? I do something called Amazon FBA. Well, I do something called Amazon Private Label FBA. There's different business models on Amazon: private label, arbitrage, wholesale. FBA stands for Fulfilled by Amazon. So I send my products to Amazon's fulfillment centers. They store those products for a fee. And then every time I get an order, Amazon picks, packs, and ships the order directly to the customer for a fee. I'm getting sales, but PPC cost is too high. It's because your conversion is too low. I talk about this in a lot of my content. PPC is not the issue. It's a conversion issue. It's always a conversion issue. Should I start with some smaller, cheaper items to get started instead of going all in? You should never go all. You should go all in mentally, but you should never go all in like financially. Like I don't go and order 3,000 units so that I can get the best cost of goods or cost of the product. I start with like 100 to 300 units to get proof of concept, so that like if for some reason the product did not work out, then okay, like yes, you still take a loss, and usually it's not even a full loss. I shared that in one of my recent videos. I had a product that failed a few years ago, and I didn't even lose 100% of my investment on that product. But yeah, you do want to quote unquote start small to get that proof of concept. How do you search the right keywords? I use like a keyword research software, and you're going to know like certain keywords that you need to bid on. If you're selling a kid's jumper, you know that probably kids jumper is a word that you need to be bidding on, but you also want to cross-reference that with a keyword research software. Nancy, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you. What happens if the product you source and gets products, but they don't sell? So you have to eat the loss. Like I said, you don't always take a full loss. I would say the reason why people will take a loss on a product is because they spend too much on PPC and don't understand the correlation between a good product and product listing and their PPC ads. PPC ads is the main way that you're going to drive traffic to your Amazon business. But with PPC ads, where a lot of people get it wrong is they think that that's supposed to make them the sales. No. Your product and your product listing being like your images, title, bullet points, description, all of that. That's what actually send reviews. That's what actually sells your product. So I've seen where people like go super aggressive on PPC. It's not profitable. They run more PPC thinking that PPC is the issue to a profitability issue. And then they just keep spending and spending and spending and spending. And then they take a loss. What do you mean when you say differentiate the product? Like different, make it different. So improving the product, not clicking copy and paste on what everybody else is doing. Another mistake that I'll see beginners make. If you want to go sell AirPod case or whatever, something, you're not going to just click copy paste what somebody else is doing because they're going to likely have a lower price than you and they're going to have more reviews than you. You want to add value into the market so your offer looks better than the competitors. Do you use Seller Amp and Keepa? No, I use Helium 10. Do you send them yourself or do you have items shipped to Amazon warehouse? I never ship items myself. I don't touch the products that I sell, guys. I order a sample so I know the quality is good. And then sometimes I'll order one of my products from my personal Amazon account, which I don't recommend people doing. I have a way of going about it. But outside of that, I don't touch the products that I sell. How many keywords should be used in negative? I mean, there's not a magic number. It's based on things that are irrelevant. My bestseller listing got removed by Amazon. It broke me. How do you deal with these types of challenges? Bro, last year, and I always I've been very open about this story, but I don't want it to be like fear mongering. I don't want anyone to get scared by it. Every single problem in the book that you can think of on Amazon, I've dealt with, bro. Last year, I lost $50,000 because Amazon shut down one of our accounts and pretty much stole our inventory. Now, when you go to the root of that problem, I don't blame Amazon. That was our fault. Technically, my business partner's fault, but I don't proxy blame. You have to take responsibility for everything, and I should have done more to make that issue not have happened. And we set some guardrails in place now. A $50,000 loss is a big hit. I've had Amazon account shut down. I've had issues with seller support. You just have to come out. My favorite term and trait is resilience. Now, resilience doesn't just mean getting past the adversity or getting past the obstacle. It means getting past the adversity and being better on the other side. Like, I would be curious why they removed your listing. What did you do? I know sometimes it can just be Amazon, but like, what did you do or what can you do in the future to avoid that from happening? And I've had listings taken down as well, and I've gotten them back up. So depending on why they took down the listing, there's still potential there. I'll never quit. Like for a whole year, we were going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth with Amazon. And it ended up getting to a point where They did send us like one pallet of inventory back, but it was only like 40 units out of $50,000 worth. And we came to a point where we're like, okay, we could fight this in court, but Amazon's the type of company where like, okay, I know we have a case and we did get counsel on this. Like we do have a case on this, but Amazon's the type of, they're $1 trillion company. They could drag it out for 5 years. And at that point, is the time and money that we put in to this battle with Amazon going to be worth it? Or do we invest that money into just launching more products and getting over that hurdle? Do you use Jungle Scout for product keyword research? I use Helium 10, but Jungle Scout's cool too. What is the conversion issue? Conversion rate, my friend. If you're running PPC ads and have a product live on Amazon and don't know what conversion rate is, I would definitely study up on it. To simplify it, if you get 100 clicks and you have a 5% conversion rate, that's going to be 5 sales. And if you increase your conversion rate and you get to a 20% conversion, those 100 clicks would equal 20 sales. You literally 4x your sales without doing anything extra or getting less clicks or more clicks on your ads. That is where the money is made with Amazon PPC. Nice, Chad. Congratulations, bro. How do you deal with Chinese New Year's? There's no dealing with it. You can't. You just work around it. You try to get your products in before Chinese New Year's happens, and sometimes you kind of get caught in the middle of it and you have to wait. It's really the only two things. You try to work around it or you wait. It's just Amazon thing appealed, loot, same automatic messages. So just wanted your mindset because that matters when you start getting big numbers. It does matter, bro. I've dealt with things when we were getting big numbers where Amazon is very annoying. Try to get that case escalated to an internal team, especially if you've been dealing with it for more than 14 days, because per Amazon's policy and guidelines, if you have an issue that is not resolved within 14 days, it qualifies to getting sent to an internal team. Sometimes they'll do it before the 14 days. I've had that happen a lot as well. Is it hard to get that first sale? Does it get easier after the first sale? I honestly respect this question a lot, Jay, because you're focused on the first sale. And I truly do respect that, because so many people are like, how do I, in my first month, am I going to make 100K? And I always say, like, worry about your first sale first. It really depends. If you do the right things and have a good product and product listing, like, yes, it's easier to scale. But Amazon is not a thing where, like, just because you have a product live on Amazon, you're entitled to sales. You have to put in extra work. I actually always say that, like, when you have a product live officially on Amazon, that's the starting line. Everything that you did prior to that was like prepping for the race. And so once you actually launch, that's when the race starts. User 58, thank you so much for the follow. I'm currently doing jewelry, but I notice I only get sales on the ones with low ranking. Help. You got to increase your organic rank, brother. Leverage PPC. Hopefully you have a good conversion rate. Leverage PPC ads to start ranking on those keywords. Organically rank, not BSR rank. You have to be on page 1. Sorry, I'm your new follower. Appreciate you, brother. Fabric, thank you so much for the follow. How long does Amazon deactivate if you didn't have a listing yet? What do you mean by that, Nancy? Sometimes they can deactivate your account because you need to re-verify, like a credit card, or because the account's been inactive for a while. But those are easy fixes. You can get it back up pretty fast. Listed supplement products supposed to have some compliance stock, but it's active. How come? Will they close it? Yeah, they likely will. They'll likely flag it at some point. Do you feel like the market you're in is competitive? Yes, very competitive. On this account, our top ASIN, our competitor, has 40,000 reviews. Now, it did not start as a competitive market. When we launched the product, it was actually like all the products that I launched nowadays, where it's an up and coming market. And then as time goes on, the market gets more established, more competitive. But if you do it right, you become established with the market. So first time Amazon FBA says wholesale, which is the best? FBA is not a business model, bro. It's a shipping method with Amazon, FBA and FBM. I do private label. I'm not a fan of wholesale. It's not for me. That's because it's taking time to find a good product, so I'm scared they might deactivate my account. No, you probably just have to re-verify your information, Nancy. An account being deactivated for because of inactivity is not going to be like the end of the world, and it's easy to get that back up. So what am I supposed to do if they didn't ask for any certificate and not sure if the supplier has it? It depends how long the listing's been up, Canada. If it's been up for like a couple weeks, then you should be good, but don't bet on that statement, because I've had products where I thought that actually, fun story. I had a product that I launched. It was a product that I launched this year. I created a mock listing, which is usually what you would do to make sure the product doesn't need any extra approvals. We did not get flagged, and we had it up for like weeks, and placed an order. Product got shipped. Product was a week away from Amazon. And Amazon was like, oh, we're flagging your listing. You have to get these compliance documents. So that was very annoying. That's a little bit more rare than common, but it could happen. So I can't give a guarantee on that. It's been up for around a week, but I'm pretty sure Amazon will flag it. I would give it another week. Where can I get the best listing images without Fiverr? I mean, I use my own team. BIP. I don't use Fiverr anymore. My team, though, is exclusive to me and my students. Or if you're ever lucky enough to find the one video that I talked about it. Sir, teaching Amazon but nervous, please guide me. I mean, feel free to ask any questions that you have on this live, bro. If you have questions, you can drop them in the TikTok comments. And if I haven't made a video about it already, I'll make a video response to it. But in terms of having me as your personal mentor along your journey, that's in the AMZ Masterclass mentorship in the TikTok bio. But again, I do put a lot of free content out for everybody. So David, thank you so much for the follow. Got a YT comment. How much is advertising necessary for generating a sale? There's not a blanket answer on this, crypto. Every product is going to be different. Essentially, every keyword has a different cost per click. But on a profitable and established Amazon account, you should be running like a 10 to 15% TACOS, which stands for total advertising cost of sale. And so let's say that you're making 10,000 in top line revenue. On an established product, 10 to 15% of that should be spent on ads. I've seen the net margin is good in this category, better than any product, as most of the time price is up. Nice. Yeah, sounds like you found yourself a winner. You just got to deal with that compliance thing. Design, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you and everybody in the live. My product is perfume oil. Perfume is going to need compliance documents to sell. And unless you already have those can be expensive unless your manufacturer has them. And perfume will generally have a higher cost per click and a lower average price. So, sir, Amazon first time, how investment for USA? What do you mean? Like how much does it cost? Like I would say 3 to 6K USD to launch a good product. The biggest issue is customizing. The supplier applies high MOQ and I only want to test. Negotiate that, bro. Everything is negotiable. It's scary to start with a high quantity. Yeah, that's why you should never do it. 100 to 300 units, or go find a different manufacturer. I will never order 1,000, 2,000 units. 1-star Vine reviews are truly humbling. Yes, they are 100%. I remember I'm kind of numb to it nowadays. Like I obviously don't like getting a 1-star review, but I remember when I launched my very first product, it would ruin my day anytime I got a bad review. And that's actually a video that I'm going to be posting tomorrow on TikTok. The piece of advice that I would give my younger self when starting on Amazon, I wouldn't change anything in my journey. But the one piece of advice that I would give is don't be, and I'm not saying you're saying this, what's your name? Thon. I'm speaking for myself, but is not to be so emotional at every little thing that happens on your account, because I pushed past those. And actually, interestingly enough, I'm pretty good at getting 1-star reviews changed. I don't do anything not TOS compliant, and it can't always happen because some people just will not like your product. But if there's ever like an issue that you have control over, I reach out to the customer and do good customer service, and that usually helps out a lot. You'd be surprised. I don't even ask people to change the review. You would be surprised how many people just kind of want to be heard, and they use a 1-star review as their way to be heard. So by you having good customer service, it ends up working out. I actually had a mentorship student. He last year sold his company, which was really cool. I don't think I've made a video about that. I think I will. But yeah, he sold his company last year. And when he first launched, he had a really good quality product. It was more of a premium product compared to the others in the category. So it was more expensive. He was actually one of the higher priced products. There was a manufacturer error that he didn't catch and that the inspection company didn't catch. The reason that they didn't catch it was because you had to have used the product for a while for this issue to start to arise. He started getting flooded with bad reviews on Amazon. So he actually did something that was super G, in my opinion. First off, he took my advice. He reached out to all the customers and was like, hey, I'll send you a replacement product. We're getting a new shipment in. And he kind of explained the situation. He was honest. And so many people appreciated him. Not only that, he went and messaged every single one of his customers that ever bought his product that he was able to message, and was just like, listen, if you guys have this problem, please reach out to us first. Send us a picture and everything, and we'll send you a replacement free of charge. He turned around, like, I think he ended up getting like a 3.9 or 4-star rating because of all the bad reviews. He brought it up to like a 4.6. It was a really cool story, and that's what it takes to have a successful business. Proper sales, working my way there. Nice. Hello, God willing, one day. Godspeed, brother. My first product mistake got 1,000 and it was a very bad. I lost it all. Yeah, never want to start with that much. Never ever start with Fiverr, even if you were sure about the quality. You need around 40 to 50 reviews. Yeah, I would say like minimum 10 to 15, but like if you don't get 30 reviews on your product and you're already ready to throw in the towel for that product, like you didn't do enough. So I do agree with you on that, Canada. How do you contact with customers? In your orders page on Amazon. What is your opinion on product? On product is all 20 Vine reviews I have received have been 5 stars, 5-star, 1 4-star. What? I'm confused by the question. What is your opinion on product is all 20 Vine reviews I have received? Yeah, I don't understand the question. You might have to rephrase that. Got a YT question. Hi there, just joined the live all the way from South Africa. Can I also start selling on Amazon UK and USA customers? Also considering joining your program. Hey, let's go, MP. Yes, you can. South Africa is one of the countries that Amazon allows to sell in the US market. In my personal opinion, I would start in the US market. And if that product is good, you can expand to the UK. But US is the biggest market. You have a really good knowledge. I can see that because of all the information you are sharing. Are coming from real experience person, not only talking for talking. Big ups, bro. I appreciate that, brother. Yeah, I mean, I've been in this game for a long time. And like I mentioned to you earlier, like a lot of people, and I don't necessarily think anyone in this live, we got a great group here, but a lot of people like are so scared of like what can go wrong in their business. But everything that went wrong in my business over the years is what gave me the experience and the knowledge that I have today. What's the expression? I can't even think of it, but I'll summarize the expression that I can't even think of is that like you don't find out who you are in the good times. You find out who you are and what you're made of in the bad times. And so that's why the advice that I would give my younger self who just started selling on Amazon is stop getting so emotional about things. Like I remember one day I was making like $1,000 a day on Amazon, actually more, like 1,500 plus on Amazon. And usually when I would wake up in the morning, and I used to wake up like 7 a.m., I would look at my sales and I'd have like $300, $400 in sales for the day. One day I wake up and I have 0 sales for the day. I was like, what's going on here? Amazon had deactivated my account. This was the early days. This was my very first Amazon account that I ever started. I can't, like, I always would say that, like, I was like Chicken Little. Every little thing that went wrong, I was like, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. But like all of those things made me better. The failed products that I had made me better. The issues that I had with manufacturers made me better. The compliance issues I had with Amazon made me better. So like, this is coming from an Amazon 7-figure seller to any beginners out there who are fearful in the beginning. I have had every problem that you can think of when it comes to private label on Amazon happen to me. Every problem. Like I don't think people can list a actual business problem that's related to Amazon private label that has not happened to me. I'm telling you that all those things were a positive in their own weird way. I didn't feel like a positive in the moment. So it's never going to feel like a positive in the moment. But like I had all of this, everything that could go wrong. And this is 1 out of 4, technically 5 Amazon seller accounts that I operate. So you just need to learn to get through it. That's why resilience is my favorite trait out there. Everything changed. Don't want to even check my seller central because it made me feel bad to see myself fall that way. Again, it does not feel good in the moment, Canada, and I fully understand that it never will, actually. I mean, at some point you may become a little bit more numb to it, and I'll share another story that I had literally just go wrong recently. You become a little bit more numb to it, but just know that you're going to get through it. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and you will learn from it, and it will make you a better seller. So I just made a video about the new products that are arriving to Amazon. They were shipped. They're almost here at Amazon. Technically, I'm starting to see some inventory populate on my Seller Central account on that same product, because it's two different listings. But on those products, I was going back and forth with Amazon for a month because there was some compliance issues. I was submitting the correct documents. They were telling me, no, they were not the correct documents. It was a headache. It was so annoying. I'm like, finally we get past it. I'm like, okay, we're in the clear. Literally last week, I open up the seller account. Inactive, review blocked reason. Inactive, review blocked reason. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I thought we dealt with this already. Amazon blocked the listings again. And so it didn't feel good. Like I wasn't, oh man, I can't wait to contact Amazon seller support and deal with this. No, it was a little bit annoying. But you become a little bit more numb to it. So it's like, all right, let's create a case. Let's see what's going on here. Within a day, I had it figured out and fixed, thank God. So really, truly real advice. Appreciate it, bro. Of course, Thon. Appreciate y'all, everybody who's in the live, everybody who's followed, everybody who's asked questions, but not going to give up. Don't give up, bro. I'm telling you. I even that 50K hit that we took on Amazon. Like I remember when I made the videos about it, people were like, why would you sell on Amazon still if they did that to you? It's like, because I operate successful businesses on Amazon and the upside is far outweighs the bad. I get it. I don't even say it from a place of judgment because, like I told you 5 seconds ago, I was Chicken Little. Every problem was the end of the world when actually, this was great advice from my cousin. This was such great advice. It was again, it wasn't the biggest problem. Your method and product criteria, it doesn't avoid competition. Maybe that's because you have a good budget for PPC till you rank. No, bro, we do avoid overly competitive markets. That's the whole average reviews. It doesn't have to do with budget. I actually, regardless of how much I have now, this has carried on for years. I'm looking at markets where low reviewed sellers can perform well. And I'm looking at markets where there's not high average review or high reviewed sellers completely dominating the market. So it's actually very beginner friendly. I would actually argue that if I was looking at higher average reviews markets, then yes, that would be like a little bit more, that would be too competitive. But one of my biggest indicators, like I can't show you the list, but if I were to hypothetically show you guys my product research list, there are so many products that I've denied. But competition is the number of competitors with the same product title density, not the number of revenue, don't you think? I do not think, to be honest. And like I said, I'm looking at how low reviewed sellers perform. And I'm going to get to your question right now, MP in the YT Live. Let me just finish this one thought. So I can show you countless products where like it checks every single box, but low reviewed sellers don't perform well. I'm very not anti-competition because I think competition is actually a good thing, but it's very beginner friendly. And I want to be able to see that proof of concept that low reviewed sellers, because I'm going to be a low reviewed seller when I first launch, that those are the ones performing well. So let me get to this YT one. How long after starting your program can I start selling? On average, bro, 3 to 6 months. I don't even like saying 6 months anymore because it's very rare that you'll see 6 months. That's kind of if like things go just like absolutely wrong and you have delays. I had a student who had some family issues. They had to put a pause on their business and they still launched within 6 months. But I would say like more conservatively, like 3 to 4 months, and 2 of those months are going to be manufacturing and shipping. What's up, brother Luke? What up, Hanto? Good to see you, bro. How much do you spend on ads during startup? Patel, make sure that you go tap into the PPC Masterclass, brother. Patel's one of the students. That's the only reason I'm telling him that. I always start conservatively. Actually, as you're starting to get into your launch phase, bro, study the PPC Masterclass like it is your business survival guide. Start conservatively so that you can get that initial data, the proof of concept on your conversion, and then you go from there. Also, Patel, I know the product that I'm going to give you, bro. I'm just having issues with the product research software, not product research stuff, product research software. I'm waiting on Helium 10 to get back to me, but it's obviously a holiday weekend, actually terrible timing. So God willing this week, bro. I know I already told you this on the last live, but. Are you Lebanese, not Egyptian? Is it true that as long as you have the matching buy box price and shipping that Amazon will rotate sellers? So the way that I do Amazon, Jay, I'm the only person on my listing. I don't sell existing branded products. So I don't have to compete for the buy box with other sellers. I win the buy box at all times. Was just thinking you made millions. Was just thinking you made millions, still taking time on lives, etc. You aiming for private equity sales? What do you mean by that, Flex? Aiming for private equity sales, like other people's sales, or what do you mean? What are you asking? Yeah, but I mean total. Like, should I have 500 or something set aside from ads? Um, Assuming that you have good margins, which you'll have at least 30%, and then assuming you're not spending more than a 30% tacos, it's not always going to come out of your pocket. And so I don't like to put, I don't like to put guarantees or blanket answers on this, Patel. But a lot of times that's just coming out of your margins, not out of your pocket. Egyptian? Yeah, why do you say it like, why do you put the laughing emoji? 100% purebred, son. JFK, thank you so much for the follow. People are getting confused with wholesale and private label. Yeah, it's because there's more wholesale and arbitrage content on social media. So when people hear like selling on Amazon, they kind of just assume that I do one of those two business models. But that's not the business models that I do. I own my own brands. Bro, why you ignoring me, man? That's the first question that I've seen from you, bro, so I'm not ignoring you. How long? Oh, wait, I cannot wait to change my life by selling on Amazon. It's all I can think about. I hate my 9 to 5. Let's go, MP. God willing, brother. If you've watched the content, you know that I'm not one who guarantees success or anything like that. But like in any business, there's no such thing. But if you put in the work, you stay resilient, you keep at it, you're destined to make it work. Tell me your idea about the product. Main keyword, 50K search volume. Competitors' reviews around 50 to 100. Sounds pretty solid. Rephrase it if you're getting silenced by TikTok. Yeah. I don't know the username. I don't read Arabic, but if you ask a question and you think I'm ignoring you, just try to rephrase it, because I literally go line by line answering everybody's question. Bestseller with 96 reviews, 2K sold, most interesting FBM product with 100 sold. How do low reviewed sellers perform? I'm 14. I want to start. And see, now I see the question, brother. I'm 14. I want to start Amazon FBA. Do I have to promote my product because Amazon, they come to you search? It's both. I mean, like on this account, majority of our sales are organic traffic, but you do have to leverage PPC ads. Just saying hi here. Have a good day, broski. What up, noob? Good to see you, brother. Hope you're having a good week, or start to your week, I should say. How do you think I can scale OA business model? I mean, you have to launch more products. I don't do OA. I do private label. Noob, you're famous, brother. Every time you join the live, everybody's like, Noob Trader in here? What's good, bro? Like Helium-10 to find products. No, I'm talking about leveraging Amazon PPC ads, bro. That's like the marketing that you do when you have a product live on Amazon. He says, what up, chat? Yes, sir. I was getting ready to tell a story, but I forgot the story that I was telling, because I started answering questions, but I need to try to remember, because I know it was a good... Oh, I remember now. I'll get to it. Let me finish these. Just, if I forget, remind me. If I ask the chat, remind me. It was about my trademark issue. Just remind me about that. When the Q4 quarter starts, please. It starts the last 3 months of the year. Also, Nawaz, how was your call, brother? Have you ever launched a product off gut feeling, even if the data otherwise, and how'd it go? Yes, it failed. Yes, and it failed. How did you learn about Amazon? My cousins taught me everything that I knew up to a certain point. I now help them with their Amazon 7-figure brands. but you kept taking a risk, right? Until it works, the part we don't see. Yeah, there's a lot of behind the scenes things that y'all don't see, but my first product did well. I've had a lot of issues since that first launch. But yeah, you just keep at it. That was kind of, I don't think you were in the live in the beginning, Flex, but that was kind of what we were talking about for like 15-20 minutes. It was like the word resilience. One of my favorite terms and traits is like resilience is not just getting through a problem, but it's getting through a problem and becoming better on the other side. Told you most low review sellers, most interesting one, FBM sellers with no reviews, 100 units sold. Nice, bro. Yeah, sounds like a good market. What products do you sell or have when you first started? I sell all types of products. My top category is home and kitchen, health and household, home decor, office products, baby products, not pet supplies, toys and games. And HX, thank you so much for the follow. Are there generic products still available in the USA market we can sell? I didn't know you had a service for 3D rendering, AMZ optimization. I just saw recently. Yeah, there are still generic products that you can launch in the US market. So going to the resilience thing, and kind of, I think a good way to start tapering off the live. Full circle. All the jerseys are back. Yes, sir, they are back. Prime LB. I know. Kevin, you're an OG. You know. Some of you don't know. Now it's all black shirts in my TikTok videos. But if you scroll back to like 2023, you would not see a video of me that I was not in a jersey. You would not see me on live without a jersey. My jersey collection is actually pretty sick. Maybe I'll make a video about it again soon. But yeah, definitely definitely own more jerseys than an NBA team. Anyways, let's finish with this thought here. Main product image 3D rendering, is it allowed? Yes. Yes, it is. It needs to be 3D rendered on a white background. The call with Adam was good. I will follow up soon. Thanks. Nice, Nawaz. Looking forward to it, brother. So, again, full circle of everything going wrong on Amazon. On my very first brand, I didn't really have that much money when I started it. So I created a really strong brand name. I knew that brand name was available, but I didn't file the trademark because I didn't have the money to file a trademark yet. I started finding a lot of success in that product. I started to get money, make money from it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to invest some of this money into getting a trademark. Hired a trademark attorney. This was before the IP Accelerator program existed. So it was just a trademark attorney in LA. They go through the process. We did a search and everything. They were like, okay, you're good to go. So we filed the trademark, and then I get a call from the trademark attorney. He's like, listen, there's actually somebody who's ahead of you in line for this trademark. And they're like, if they get granted the trademark, then you don't get it. I was like, what does that mean? I have thousands of dollars of inventory. Like, I have social media. Like, people are starting to know this brand. Like, are you telling me that I couldn't sell under that brand anymore? They were like, no, you couldn't. I was still working for my cousins at this time. Devastated. I remember calling my mom, and I was just like venting to her. I was crushed because I was like, all this work, all of this, like I definitely made it like a bigger issue than it probably would have been. But I just felt like I was trying to get off my best friend's couch, and I was like, this brand was what was going to get me there. And I went to work. So yeah, somebody registered before me, and I remember going to work. And I'm moping around. My cousin's like, bro, what's wrong? He thought like something like devastating happened. That's how like visibly upset I was. I was like, I don't want to talk about it. I finally told him. I was like, yeah, I explained to him the trademark issue, and he looks at me. And some people might hear this and think that it was mean. It was exactly what I needed. So my cousin looks at me. He's like, bro, I thought something was wrong. He's like, that's not a problem. And I remember being so mad at him. I was like, I didn't say this to him, but in my mind, I was like, how could you not feel sorry for me? Like, you don't know what I'm going through. Like, you know the situation that I'm in, all of these things. And he had said something, and he was pretty much just like, hey, bro, get over it. Push past it. What, you're going to sit and cry about something that you can't change? I wasn't actually crying, but you know what I'm saying? He's like, you're going to sit and whine and complain about something you can't change? And thank God it ended up working out, because it was actually a brand new trademark class. And the people who filed before me, they filed it wrong. So I was second in line. They messed up. They got bumped to the bottom. Your boy got the trademark. But it was just a great lesson, and it was really, I'm just glad that it happened, because it helped me realize, like, don't internalize all these problems so much, and you're going to get past it. You're going to push past it. Would you say that phase of chasing money, then you achieved it and you have a thought of what's next? I don't chase money anymore. I really chase, not even the accolades. I just chase the game. I'm in it for the game now. What's your number one product sold? A supplement product. My one product is not indexing. What does that mean? It means your SEO is probably not solid, or you haven't driven enough sales, so you're probably past page 7. How much do you invest in inventory monthly? We don't buy inventory every month, but we spend easily like 6 figures plus on inventory yearly. All right, y'all. We've been given an hour of straight value. A lot of good questions. Appreciate everybody who followed. Now, y'all, I post a lot of free content on the TikTok, but for those who wanted to have me as their mentor along their entire journey, lifetime access, and a lot of other stuff, check out the AMZ Masterclass Mentorship in the TikTok bio. You'd click yes, I want to apply. You'd go through this little questionnaire here, and at the end of the questionnaire, you'll be brought to a booking page where you can book a call with my onboarding coach, hop on a strategy and clarity call with them, and learn more about the program. When will the AMZ Masterclass have a discount? Never. The quality doesn't get discounted, so neither does the price. We actually go up in price like every year pretty much. But on that note, everybody, I hope you all have a blessed rest of your day, blessed week. Make it a productive one. Appreciate the follow, Jenny. And I will see you all, God willing, tomorrow for another live. See you soon. Stay blessed.